super hot here in the UK today, which is why I'm working outside. And I'll just invite our guest, Caroline, along. Da-da-da. It's not finding you, Caroline, but it will. So we're going to be talking about words, one in particular that we use all the time that's holding us back. When I sees her request, she will appear at the bottom of the screen. And she's in sunny Spain, probably feeling equally as hot. How are you?
Hello, are you complaining it's hot?
No, I'm not complaining it's hot. I'm loving it. I'm working outside today in the heat. It's about 27 degrees and really, really humid. But no, at last we've got some summer.
Hi Maria.
So how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I can't wait for today's live.
Yeah, so we're talking about words that we all use that are holding us back, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And what's the biggest one that we're going to talk about first?
Well, first of all, introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are, what you do, and then I'll do the same. And then if we've got any new people on here.
Yeah, so I'm Rachel. I'm a health coach and an EFT practitioner. I help women in midlife just create the lives they dream of and stop with all the blockages with their mental and emotional health so that they can live the life that they aspire to. And how about you, Caroline?
I was a functional medicine practitioner for 17 years, had my own practice. Sorry, we've got bugs, mosquitoes here. And yeah, I now teach health coaches and NTs how to scale their businesses online. And I have a very unique way of explaining things. So I will warn Rachel's audience in advance. I call out bullshit. So just to warn everybody. So today we're talking about this word that changes your actions and your intentions, and it's the word but. So I'm going to be talking from a business perspective, and Rachel's going to be talking more from a personal perspective and like using that word in your life in general. Is that right, Rachel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You go first.
Okay, so purely from a business perspective, when we use the word but, it's an excuse. So I've got some examples here. So it stops you from taking action. So when you use the word but, so I will create a post next week, but I will work on my business today, but. So what you're actually saying, the statement you're using before the word but is you're saying that what you need to get done isn't actually a priority because you're using that word but. So that's why but is an excuse. So it's a bit like saying, I'm going to go for a walk today, but it's raining. So you're using the fact that it's raining not to go out for a walk. Instead, if going for a walk was a real priority, because it was raining, you'd grab your Mac, no matter what the weather was doing, you'd put your coat on and you'd go for that walk. So using the word but really holds you back in your business, because so many people say to me, you know, my business is a priority, but, and that's where you get stuck all the time and you're constantly holding yourself back. So you need to stop using the word but in your language, because it's stopping you from moving forward to what you actually want to achieve in your business. Because if your business is that big of a priority, then you wouldn't be using that word. So, you know, I don't say things like, oh, I need to do my emails today, but I'm going to do this first, or I'm going to do that first. It's a priority, so I sit and get it done. I don't make the excuse to do it. So it's about thinking about the words that you're using and like how you reframe them to make sure that you're getting things done. So how do you use the word but in like general life, like us women use in life, Rachel?
Yeah, so you know what you've just said, you can almost just replace business with your own life, can't you? Because I see it used a lot by the ladies that I work with, in terms of it's a block. It stops them from doing what they really need to do to help themselves, and it means that they're not prioritizing themselves. So as you say, you're not prioritizing your business, then very commonly it's used to not prioritize your own needs, your health, what you're eating, how you're exercising, what you could be doing to improve your own life. Oh yeah, I wanted to go to the gym, but I
Yeah, it's a bit
wanted
like saying, I
to,
want to lose weight, but
but then, you know, you can use that with every aspect, and I hear it in all different ways. And it's like there's this they sort of have an intention, but this word comes in and it holds them, it stops them in their tracks. So if you look up the definition of the word but, it's used to indicate the impossibility of something. So, you know, it's almost like people can, women especially, can put it out there so far, but then they have to rein it back in by using the word but. So, you know, it's like, oh, I want to do that, but, and then straight away you're making it impossible for you to do that. Or another way of looking at it, I was thinking earlier, is it's just a massive, it's excuses. It's what you were saying. It's
yeah,
just a way for us to make excuses to not do something, and often it's something that's of benefit to us. And that's the tragedy of it. And we are taught to use this word really young. It's commonly used in kids' books because it's a simple little joining up word. And I think but becomes a really commonly used part of our vocabulary from such a young age that we don't really see the damage it's doing, but subconsciously it is holding us back.
yeah, definitely, because like you're losing control over what you want to actually accomplish, and it's thinking about, so you know, like totally from like a woman's point of view, something you said there, it's a bit like saying, you know, I want to lose weight, but I need to go and buy some new clothes first to go to the gym. You don't need to go and buy new clothes to go to the gym. You can just put on any old tracksuit you've got in your cupboard and go to the gym. So what you're actually doing is you're using it as an excuse not to get started. So what you need to think about is, obviously, like especially from a business point of view, you know, like everybody says to me, oh, I want to attract clients and I want to make money, but I need to sign more I need to sign more clients first. That's just an excuse as to why you don't get the help that you know you need. So you're just using that word, but I can't work on my business today. I'm a mum, so I've got no qualms about calling this out. And, you know, when people use their children as excuses, now, yes, your family comes first, but when people say, you know, and they use that word, but, you know, my child, I'm trying to how to reframe this, but basically you're using the excuse, your children as an excuse not to do something. And as I say, you know, I've got a son, and, you know, he was only 6 months old when I started to, sorry, I've got loads of people messaging me while this thing's going on live. I've got, you know, Jack was only 6 months old. You never hear me say, you know, oh, but I can't do this because of Jack, but I can't do that because of Jack. I made it work because the words before the word but were more of a priority, because what I was doing was for Jack. So I know, like, you help, you know, a lot of women that you know, in midlife, and they're thinking about, you know, empty nesting. So, like, you know, when your kids are older and they're going to be leaving home, you know, so it's how about not losing control of the words that you're choosing to use and still using them as an excuse not to take back control of your life when you're in midlife.
Yeah, and it stops people's readiness to change. It's a really good one to stop using. And Maria said that she's definitely going to stop using that one, and we've got more coming, so don't stop watching, because that's not the only word we're going to be talking about today. My husband is listening in and he's really impressed with your topic today. Well done, ladies. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about a few other words, because we thought we probably wouldn't be able to make a live out of just this one, because there's other ones that we use that are
there's loads that people
equally as damaging, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like the one that I've seen already today, and I use, but I do pull myself up on it. And actually I use it when I use this word, I pull myself up on it and I have a think about why I've used it, is the word should.
Yeah.
So I should be spending more time with my next online course. I should be, because that is what I have said to myself recently. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I should be going to the gym more. I should be eating healthier. I should be earning more money. I should be, my God, the list goes on. And it's a bloody awful word. And
Yeah,
the
I think
definition
what
of,
that word is very similar to. So when you say I should, people say I need. I
yes,
need to go to the gym. I need to work on my business. I need to sign clients. I need to call my friend. Nobody needs to do anything. That's a decision that you're making. So again, is what you're putting in front of the word need an actual priority? So,
yeah,
and when you are saying that you should do something or you need something, you're actually coming from a place of scarcity and
yes,
not a place of like empowerment, as in that you should be doing it.
yeah. So you're almost taking that, if you go through life using that kind of a word a lot, you're taking the control away from yourself and making everything like a to-do list that somebody else is giving you. So the definition of should is used to indicate obligation. I mean, God, who wants that? Duty, and typically used when criticizing someone's actions. So when you
Yeah,
say should, often we use it about somebody else. Well, they should have done this, or they
yeah,
should have done that, or you say it to yourself. It's just a criticism, and it actually at a low level causes stress and anxiety because you're putting all this external pressure on
yeah, pressure.
internal pressure on yourself, which doesn't need to be there, and it's purely because of the choice of your words. So the best thing you can do with should is swap it to could.
Yeah,
And actually it's in a book called Tiny Habits, which is a brilliant book. And if you could just do that for a day, anyone that's watching now, catching up later, swap your shoulds for coulds for one day and just see how you feel more empowered, positive, less pressured. And I've used it, and I use it with my clients, and just changing your vocabulary can have such a difference on your day.
yeah. I mean, it's a bit like, I know Maria's laughing, but she said I need a holiday. So instead of saying I need a holiday, I would be reframing that to how am I going to make this holiday happen? So
Yeah,
instead of sitting there saying I need something, like when people say I need money, I need more clients, I need this. Well, that's fine, needing something, but you need to do something to make that happen. So instead of saying you need it, what are you going to do to make it happen? Another word that, I call this out all the time is, when people say, hopefully I'll get that done by the end of the week. Hopefully I'll do it by tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get a chance to look at that later. So the word hopefully, again, that's weakening everything. So get rid of the word hopefully. You're either doing something or you're not. It's just as simple as that. So I am going to do X, Y, and Z, or I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. There's no hopefully, there's no in between.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, working with me, it's just like we call that word out all the time. It's hilarious. Everyone goes, no, I am. So,
yeah,
so you either are or you're not.
yeah. Because again, using the word hopefully, you're almost putting that into the lap of the gods or something. It's like
Yeah.
you
It's
don't
like,
have any control over the outcome of whatever it is you're talking about.
yeah.
And that is and I think actually changing hopefully is a big one because we do use that one an awful lot. So yeah, so far we've got but, should, need, hopefully. The next one is must. Hate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Yeah.
And I do catch myself using it, but I use it a lot less now than I ever have done. I must. You must. It's that awful pressure again. You're putting yourself straight into a place of lack and scarcity and almost with this feeling, an inability to do it. I must.
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
Might.
What is might?
Might.
Yeah. Might is a word that sits on the fence. I might do this, I might do that. So again, all of these words actually all come back to the same thing. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. So it's one of those two things. And that's where I think it really helps your brain. You know, start using the words I am going to whatever it is you're going to do, or you're not going to do whatever it is you're going to do. So you're not might going to do it, need to do it, should do it, could do it, you know, and all this. So it's either you're not or you are. It's,
Yeah.
it's like that. So, and, you know, purely from a business perspective, you know, like people's, you know, I talk to people every day and they always talk about, you know, other people that are really successful. You never hear, or you've never heard of a successful person saying, oh, hopefully I'll do this, or, you know, I might be able to do this. You know, they never use the word but, because but is just an excuse. They are always, I am, and then they make it happen. So if they don't know how to make it happen, they find a way of making it happen. So it's a bit like when, you know, I mean, I was really young at the time when I first opened my practice. I went to the bank for a loan. They wouldn't take me seriously. You know, you're not a good investment. You've got a crap business idea, was basically what I was told. You know, I didn't sit back and think, oh, they've said that, so, you know, that's it. Hopefully it'll all work out. I never said that. I was like, right, what am I going to do now to get around this? You know, it's all about I am. I'm going to make this happen with or without you. So yeah. So it's using words that empower you and don't disempower you.
Yeah. And this has all come about because it's just the way we've been brought up, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the media, you know, especially with the word should, you know, it's everywhere you look, isn't it? My life should look like that. My house should be like this. You know, I should, you know, the shoulds are everywhere you look, and it keeps us where we are, and that suits a lot of the media and marketing people. You know, it makes you want to desire other things that you don't think you can have, and it all comes from the sort of pressures we're put under, I think, a lot of the time, from media, the high street, Instagram. Everywhere you look is all I should be like that, I should have this, I should. And it's absolutely blocking what you could be doing, because it's taken up all your headspace instead of just focusing on what you want to go for and what you want to strive to do and what is in your control and what you are able to change. So if you could stop getting crowded by all this negative vocabulary, it frees your head up to a much more possibility.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I just thought of something then. It's like back when you were a kid, you know, and as a mum, it's like, how many times have you said to your kids, you know, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this. So you, like you say, you know, you're training your children from a young age that they can't do something. So instead of reframing it, so it's
Yeah.
inbred. So we all do it. It's about breaking that cycle.
Yeah. So there's ways of breaking out of it, isn't there? You know, the simple one is just to, after this chat, be mindful of the vocabulary you are using. If you've got somebody with you at home that wants to join in, then keep each other accountable. As soon as one of you says one of those words, stick them on the fridge, whichever one or two you want to start with. As soon as someone says it, the other one flags it up, and then you make a conscious effort to say what you've just said again, but swapping out the words for something more supportive and empowering.
Yeah. And then, and always like look at the reasons behind why you're using that specific word, because, you know, again, all these words are an excuse as to not doing something. So think about, you know, again, Rachel's talking from like lifestyle, I'm talking from business. So like when people say, you know, oh, I can't attract clients, I can't make money, you know, think about, you know, your big reason behind, you know, removing that word can't. Why is it you need to make money? Why is it that you need, why is it you want to make money? Why is it, you know, you want to sign more clients? What's that big why behind it? Because that's your driving force. I've been doing a lot of work on myself actually over the weekend about this. You know, I've been really writing down, you know, like why I do the things that I do. Because if there's no reason behind it, then that's when you're going to start using these words that give you excuses as to not doing separate things. So, you know, and as you move through your business, your why changes. So, you know, like for me, my big why was obviously my son as a single mum, because I wanted to be successful, so I could give him everything that I didn't have as a kid. And then as I've got older, you know, I am going to retire when I'm 55. So that's my big why now. So that is why I work on my business like I do. So always look at the words that you're using before you're using these excuse words, and think about, is that really a really big priority in your life?
Yeah, and I think often I see it come up because the person that's using it hasn't quite worked out how they're going to get to where they want to be.
Yeah.
And it's the sort of a lack of confidence. They don't know. It seems like such a big ask to get to where they want to be in the long term, that if they can start using the words now for the smaller steps in between, they don't have to think too much about how they're going to get there. So I always, you know, chat with people and help them understand that don't think about, you've got to have your why, but don't start freaking about how it's going to happen.
Yeah,
Just think about
exactly.
the
Yeah.
next inspired action you can take, the next small step you can take, where you can't say but, should, must,
Yeah, I
need.
mean, I've literally got it here. So like I was, you know, rewriting some new goals for my business, especially moving into 2022. And, you know, and in between, I have got all the little steps that I'm going to take to get me to that point. And a lot of it as well is, you know, mindset is a huge thing here as well. You know, it's not for you to constantly question how things are going to happen. So, you know, if you're in the right mindset and you're doing you're doing all your little steps in between. I mean, Rachel and I are really into the law of attraction and stuff. You know, what you put out, you will get back. So, I mean, a great example of this, as per usual, Rachel, we're going off topic, but a great example of this is something was happening in my business a couple of years ago, and here we go. I needed a certain amount of money to do something, so I set those steps up to make it happen. How it was going to happen and come into my life, I didn't know. So I made all the intentions, I put it out to the universe, I was following all the steps that I needed to do. And literally 3 weeks later, I just got this random phone call from a client in America. And that was the universe giving me the answer and the solution that I needed. So it's about trusting the process as well. So we've slightly gone off topic about, well, I went off topic about mindset, but yeah, it is all about.
But it's all valid, isn't it? It is, because if you hadn't have started to change your mindset, none of that would have happened, because you would have still been coming from that place of lack and scarcity, using the wrong language and you know, using it as excuses to move forward.
Like, you know, we're talking scarcity. I mean, money's a big thing for people as well. It's like every time I spend money, it doesn't matter whether it's 50 cents or, you know, 200 euros. I always say, thank you, there's plenty more where that came from. Not, oh God, that's just cost me 200 euros. I just say, thank you, plenty more where that came from. So like, you're grateful for spending money. So yeah, that's just a money mindset trick I use around money as well, because, you know, going back to the scarcity and like using all these words, there's loads of different ways that you can reframe, get out of reframe. I mean, I always get strange looks from people when I'm mumbling under my breath. I do it all the time, you know, I mean, they say, oh, thank you, universe, plenty more where that come from. People are like, ooh.
But it's a great way to be, because it makes you feel more positive and in control of what's going on around you, doesn't it? So you don't feel like you're at the mercy of luck or fate. Which I think is how a lot of people do go through life. They feel that it's already mapped out for them in some way, and they don't really have a lot of choice in it.
I'm trying to find the right words to say that. People, you know, this is as good as it gets. You know, your life isn't as good as it gets. If you want more from life, it is there for the taking. I know that. I left home when I was 15. I was dragged up. I was that kid that was never going to amount to anything. And you know, if anything, that just gave me the driving force to go up yours and I'm going to prove you wrong. You know, that was my driving force. If you want more from life, then you're the only person that can make that happen. So make that your priority. Don't use words that weaken you, you know, because they're just excuses. You know, just you can make anything happen. Hi, Leslie. Leslie's just popped on.
Yeah. And also, if anyone's watching this and they're thinking, well, I'm not so sure it makes any difference, have a think about the last few times you used one of those words, maybe should as an example, and think, did it actually benefit you? Did it get you to where you wanted to be? Or did it sabotage you and hold you back? Did it stop you in your track?
Yeah,
Because if it's, they're going, and you're going to find it that it's actually that it held you back and it didn't give you the best opportunity. So you've already lived with the examples in your own lives. We've all done it. Think back to when you found yourself in that loop of saying should, must, need. Did it get you where you wanted to be? Or, you know, did it not? And it probably didn't. And the problem is the way our brains are wired up, you do something a few times, you get used to doing it. So even if it's not benefiting you, you're going to keep running that same pattern until something changes. So you know that's that,
right.
yeah. So I obviously do a lot of work with my clients on that because I love it, with various therapies. But you can change the way you think at any time in your life. It doesn't matter if you're watching this at 20 years old, 80 years old, or anything in between. You can change your mindset, and you can change it in a day if you really wanted to. And it starts really simple and small, such as this conversation about simply the words you are using.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and setting an intention to do something. So it's a bit like me. Like I've got, and it's an excuse. I've had a few things going on at home, and I've got out of my proper morning routine. So at the weekends, you know, I'm like, right, this is just a bloody excuse. So, you know, I'm getting up at 6 o'clock every morning. I am going for my walk. I'm then coming back and doing, you know, by listening to my motivational talks that I listen to. I'm doing my journaling. You know, it's all I am. And I felt so much better when I was doing it. And I'm now going to get back into that routine. We all fall into bad habits, and I'm the first to admit it. So, but it gives you that kick up the arse that you sometimes need.
Yeah. And sometimes with clients, it helps them to see it almost as like that other little voice in your head. So when those words crop up, it's not really like, almost think of it, it's not you saying that, it's someone else that's trying to stop you from doing something. So, you know, have that conversation with yourself. No, a bit like when you say I am, you are changing the conversation in your head. You're not, and as soon as you say I am, it's definite, and that is it, full stop.
Yeah.
There isn't an if, but, or a maybe at the end of it. So when people do say to me they're really struggling with, you know, this, that and the other, because I can see it's a lot to do with their mindset and their language, see it as somebody else sitting on your shoulder that's trying to sabotage you. And don't let them do it. So almost if you can sort of compartmentalize it, it doesn't have to be a core part of you to keep doing it. Flick them off. I am going to get up at 6. I am going to attract those clients I want.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what I did a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what I was listening to. If I think of it, I'll let you know. But I was listening to this really great talk, and one of the things in there they was telling you to do was, during the course of the day, think about the amount of times that you complain about something. And every time you complain about something, write it down. Oh my God, I couldn't believe in this particular day the type of things that I was complaining about. You know, like I take the dogs out for a walk, I was complaining that one of them was pulling me, you know, all silly things like that. You know, I was complaining that I couldn't do this or I couldn't do that, or I was complaining about somebody else, you know, in the supermarket. And when you're complaining, you're wiring your brain to be negative. And it was a really good exercise, and it's really made me think now. You know, every time I go to moan about something or complain about something, no matter what it is, I rethink what I'm going to say. So it's a great exercise. Right down. Yeah, go on.
I've just thought of another one, and I'm bad for this, and this has been a good reminder for me to get back to the thing I was doing. I've got to.
Yeah,
The times I would use, I've got to go and pick the kids up. I've got to do this. I've got to do that.
yeah,
And
like it's
if
a
you
chore.
change, and I simply changed it to I get to. So instead of saying, "Oh, I've got to go and get the kids," I get to go and get the kids,
Yeah,
and just
exactly.
changing those couple of letters, one letter makes it such a different thing. Instead of you going, "Oh," you kind of go, "Oh."
Yeah,
That is the simplest of things like that. Completely change the way you approach any situation. So instead of saying I've got to, I get to.
yeah. I've got to go shopping. You know, I've got to go food shopping. I mean,
I get to go
yesterday we went,
shopping.
but yeah, yeah, I get to go shopping.
Because,
So
if you take that one step deeper, aren't we fortunate that we can go and do that?
I was exactly just going to say
Like
that. Yeah, you know,
like your
yeah,
example of I've got to walk the dogs. You love those dogs. We all love our dogs. And of course there are days when you think, oh, I've got to walk the dog. But if you can change it to I get to walk the dog or the dogs, because when you do that, it's like it's an
yeah. I mean,
opportunity. You're
how many
turning it
people's
from a chore to an
lives would
opportunity.
love? Yeah, yeah, would
Have to
love
be
to
able
be
to
able
do
to
that.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you said, the things we complain about are ridiculous.
yeah, and like, you know, I've got to go shopping. You know, especially what's going on in the world at the minute. How many people don't get that opportunity to moan, I've got to go shopping? You know, they would
Yeah.
love to be able to go shopping.
Yes. Yeah. So really being mindful as to the negativity that you are bringing into your life or continuing to run with, just down to these small little words that you use every day, is really the first step, isn't it? Just being aware of them, notice when you use them, think of different ways to express yourself, swap words out, get someone
Yeah,
to hold you
reframe everything.
accountable, and then give it a day or two and actually see how different you feel.
Yeah, you do. It's like when I said to you, I was doing that exercise. I didn't realise the amount of things that I was complaining about. They weren't massive things; they were just really small things. But it doesn't matter how small a thing something is. It's like you're living in a place of, you know, like complaining and scarcity. You know, like I didn't realise how much, you know, I was moaning at Foxy. You know, she's doodling along. I mean, she's 15 years old, and I'm like, oh, come on, hurry up. You know, I'm complaining instead of, like, you know, reframing it and just enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. You got to reframe things. That's the best way to start really sort of seeing what you're doing from another perspective, is reframe it, try it
Has anyone
differently,
got any
see how it
questions
feels.
around mindset or anything you want to ask us? Any questions? If anyone's just joining, we were talking about uh, words that weaken you and that are actually just excuses for getting things done. So if anyone's got any questions, just pop them in the comments. So Rachel's basking in the sun. My son is
I
out.
am.
I'm hiding from my son because it's too hot and I'm
Yeah, how
working.
hot is it with you today?
Oh, I can't actually see. It's on the phone. I think it's about 37. But
That is
it's
hot.
cloudy today, so the cloud is holding the heat in, so it feels,
Yeah,
yeah.
really, really hot.
So, yeah.
So if anybody's got any questions, pop them in the comments box. Otherwise, we'll wrap this one up for today.
Yep.
But if any of you got any questions about this, or you've realised that you're falling into that trap, then, you know, message us. We've got plenty of tips and advice on how you can break the habit. We've done it ourselves, and we still have to put ourselves up on it every so often.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say before we finish, Caroline?
No. We just wrapped it up. If anyone thinks of
Yeah.
any questions or you're watching it on replay, then please just drop in our DMs. Thank you, Maria. Drop in our DMs. Come and stalk us on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Show us some love.
Yeah. So you guys, everybody go follow Caroline. She's always putting out some great content. Really makes you think.
No bullshit.
No, exactly. And we'll catch up again soon.
Yeah, you take care, my lovely. And thanks
Okay.
everyone for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye, darling. Bye.